Hi accounting class. In this video we are going to go over a production report for the first department. This production report is going to give you pieces to the puzzle. So I wanted to show you this video because it will be the same as your homework. However, I will tell you the answer from the publisher. They don't show you this production report. I'm going to teach it so that you can fill in the missing pieces on your production report. And remember, I will post a blank one to Blackboard, so simply print it out before you watch the video, have the homework problem, and then work with me along with when we go through it. Okay, so here's a problem. Complete the missing amounts in the following production report. Materials are added at the beginning of the process. Conversion costs are incurred evenly. The ending inventory is 60% complete. So I wrote a note to myself because otherwise I'm looking all over for that piece of the puzzle. And you should do so as well. Okay, so let's start with this problem. So what I did was I started it in black, and then with using this blue marker, I will fill in with you the missing pieces. But again, work with me. All right, so we're going to do the steps of a production report. The first thing we're going to figure out is the physical flow of units. The second thing we're going to figure out is the total cost to account for. Next, we're going to figure out the cost per equivalent unit. And then last, we're going to figure out the total costs that are going to be transferred out and total costs accounted for. You will notice that these numbers always have to equal each other. Okay, so remember that even when you're doing an entire production report, and I will have you do that in another video. Okay, so let's get started. Here's what they gave us. They gave us beginning work in process. They gave us started in production. So all we do is simply add these two together, and that equals 2,700. So the first part of our physical units, the total units to account for, is 2,700. Next, all they gave us was 500 in this ending work in process. So we have to figure out the amount of completed and transferred out. How will we do that? We're just going to take 2,700 and we will subtract out 500, and that will give us 2,200. So I just put in that missing piece, 2,200. Okay? Now I simply add up 2,200 plus 500 gives me 2,700. Now we're ready to go on to the next step. All right, so the next step, they have these missing pieces. Well, all it is it's the weighted average method, so it's going to be 100%. So we just trace it across. The direct materials is 2,200. The conversion costs are also 2,200. Remember, this is the first department, so there's no transferred in category. That's only used when you're working on the second department. Okay, so now I need this 60% complete. All right, so the ending work in process is 500. Well, direct materials will also be exactly the same. It's conversion costs that I need that 60% complete. So I just take the 500, I multiply it by 60%, and that gives me 300. Okay, so now I'm going to add those up. My total units to account for direct materials are 2,700. My total units to account for conversion costs are 2,500. Okay? All right. Now, remember, that's not a dollar figure. We're going to use that later on. Okay, next, what did they give me for costs? Okay, they gave me direct materials, they gave me the beginning work in process, they gave me cost added during the period. So I just simply add those. 1,200 plus 12,030 gives me 13,230. Okay, this one we can do one or two ways. We can take, they gave us the total, so we could take 2,140 and we would subtract the 1,200, and that gives us 940. Okay? Or they gave us the total here. We could just take the 9,250 and subtract the 8,310. Whatever you want to do, but the answer to that conversion cost is 940. All right, now we're going to total this across. We go 12,030 plus 8,310, and that gives me 20,340. I double check my math. 2,140 plus 20,340 better equal 22,480, and it does. Okay. Now, the next piece we have to figure out. That is not given anywhere in the problem, so we have to figure that out. All right, how are we going to do that? Well, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to figure out the cost per equivalent unit. So let me put my fraction bar. I'm going to take 13,230 and I'm going to divide that by 22,700. Okay, that's a dollar figure. So I take 13,230, I divide it by 2,700, and that gives me $4.90. Don't forget to put in your decimal, all right? So not 49, $4, 4.9. Okay. Same thing over here. I'm going to take the 9,250 and I'm going to divide that by 2,500. That's a dollar figure. All right, so 9,000, this is not a dollar figure, but your answer will be a dollar figure. So 9,250 divided by my units, 2,500, and that gives me 3.70 or 3.7, okay? Next, I am going to figure out the completed and transferred out. How am I going to do that? So I'm going to go back up here, completed and transferred out. I'm going to take 2,200 and I multiply it by 4.9. That gives me, for direct materials, 10,780. Next, I'm going to take the 500 in ending work in process, multiply that by 4.90, and that gives me 2,450. I next total my costs for direct materials, which is 13,230. Same theory for my conversion. I'm going to take the 2,200. I multiply it by $3.70. That gives me 8,140. Next, I take the ending work in process, 300 times $3.70, and that gives me 1,110. I add those two together, 8,140 plus 1,110. That gives me 9,250. Okay? Next, I'm going to total it across. So I take the 10,780 plus the 8,140. That gives me 18,920. I'm going to take the 2,450 plus the 1,110. That gives me 3,560. All right, double check your math. Remember, they gave you that number, but you have to make sure your numbers are correct. Add 18,920 plus 3,560. It better equal 22,480. It does, and look at these two numbers always have to match. Just like these two numbers always have to match. All right, double check it across. 13,230 plus 9,250. It better equal 22,480. And that's how you do the problem. So just don't freeze when you see missing parts. Print out your blank production report and just fill in the pieces. Just notice like this, they didn't give us these numbers, but this is always the same all the way across for the weighted average method. The conversion costs, always look at the problem. What are they telling you? How much is complete? Is it 60%? Is it 80? It could be 100. I mean, it's very rare, but it could be for conversion. So just read those problems, all right? And that's it. That's how you do it. Get your homework done in the lab. Thanks.